Pythagoras' theorem is all linked into a triangle, specifically a right angle triangle. And what it states is that if we have the three sides of the triangle, A, B and C, C being the longest side of the triangle, then that side squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides squared and added together. Now, instead of writing out a big long sentence, we know it more traditionally as this formula, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And that is Pythagoras' theorem. When it comes to finding a side using Pythagoras' theorem, there's two types of question you're going to be asked. The first one is finding the hypotenuse, or the longer side. And when it comes to working out these questions, I want you to remember the following. S for square, A for add, and then another S for square root. And it involves squaring the two sides you have, adding them together, and square rooting to get your answer. We remember it using SAS. And when it comes to finding a shorter side, or either one of the shorter sides, remember we square, subtract, and square root. So we square the two sides we're given, subtract them, and then square root to get our final answer. And we remember this using the three S's. So what I want you to start thinking is whether or not a question is SAS or SSS. Okay, so first question up here. It wants us to find the length marked X in the following triangle. Now, if we look at the example here, we see that we have the two shorter sides, 3 centimetres and 4 centimetres respectively, and they want us to work out the longer side, the hypotenuse. Now, from what we've just seen on the previous slide, that means this is an SAS question. We need to square, add, and then square root. So that's what we're going to do. Take the two sides and square them. So 3 squared and 4 squared. We're adding them. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. We add the two together and it gives us an answer of 25. And then the final part of SAS, remember, is that we square root, and the square root of 25 is 5 centimetres. So we know this was a square both of them, add, and then square root to get your answer. Now in this question, again, it's asking us to work out the longest side. So we know it's an SAS question. We're going to square, add, and then square root. The difference this time is that they've given us decimal values for the other lengths. So this would be a calculator question. The one we saw previously more than likely would be non-calculator, as they'd expect you to work those values out without one. Same rule applies though. We need to square our two sides, and then we're going to add them together. Okay, another opportunity to pause and check that you understand how your calculator does these calculations. I want you to type in 5.6 squared and 10.2 squared, see what answers you get, and add them together. Right, so hopefully you managed to work it out on your calculators, but we'll now show you the steps of working out to get that final answer. So 5.6 squared, we should have got 31.36. 10.2 squared, we should have got 104.04. Now, although your calculators will do this particular calculation all in one go, remember you will get marks for your working out, so it's important to show the steps of it. So if we add those two numbers together then, it gives us 135.4. Remember that's not our final answer though, because we've squared, we've added, now we need to square root. So the square root of 135.4 gives us a final answer of 11.6 metres to 1 decimal place.